The case marks a pivotal moment in Pakistan's legal history. It stands as a testament to the fundamental right to a fair trial, particularly in narcotics cases. This landmark judgment, delivered by the Supreme Court of Pakistan on March 14, 2025, has sent ripples through the legal system, prompting a reassessment of investigative procedures and the handling of evidence. The court's meticulous examination of the case, coupled with its scathing indictment of systemic flaws within law enforcement agencies, has set a precedent that promises to reshape the landscape of narcotics prosecutions. At the heart of the matter was the accused Jeehand, who faced serious charges related to drug trafficking. The prosecution's case, however, began to unravel due to glaring inconsistencies and procedural violations. The court, in its wisdom, meticulously dissected the evidence presented, uncovering a series of lapses that ultimately proved fatal to the prosecution's claims. This judgment serves as a stark reminder that the pursuit of justice must never come at the cost of due process. It underscores the judiciary's unwavering commitment to safeguarding the rights of all citizens, irrespective of the charges levied against them. The ramifications extend far beyond the immediate confines of this particular case, serving as a beacon of hope for a more just and equitable legal system. In narcotics cases, the concept of safe custody takes center stage. This principle mandates that evidence, from the moment of seizure to its presentation in court, must be handled with utmost care and meticulous documentation. A clear and unbroken chain of custody is crucial to demonstrating that the evidence has not been tampered with or compromised in any way. This ensures its reliability and admissibility in court. The prosecution bears the weighty responsibility of establishing this unbroken chain. Each individual who handles the evidence, from the seizing officer to the forensic analyst, plays a vital role in upholding this chain. Any lapse in this process, any gap in the documentation, can cast serious doubts on the integrity of the evidence. In such instances, the very foundation of the prosecution's case is shaken, potentially leading to the acquittal of the accused. This emphasis on safe custody serves as a safeguard against potential abuse and misconduct. It acts as a deterrent against planting or manipulating evidence, ensuring that the pursuit of justice remains untainted by malfeasance. The principle of safe custody is not merely a procedural formality. It is the bedrock upon which the fairness and reliability of the judicial process rests, particularly in cases as sensitive and consequential as those involving narcotics. In the case of Jeehand, the prosecution faltered in its fundamental duty to maintain a secure and well-documented chain of custody. The court's judgment highlighted several critical documents that were conspicuously absent from the prosecution's evidence. These omissions were not mere procedural oversights. They represented gaping holes in the narrative that the prosecution sought to weave. Among the missing pieces were crucial records detailing the seizure, transportation, and storage of subluxation की allergies थी parasites Narcotic the T. The prosecution failed to provide convincing explanations for these omissions. Casting a long shadow of doubt over the handling of the evidence, the court, recognizing the gravity of these discrepancies, refused to overlook them as trivial errors. Instead, it rightly interpreted these missing links in the chain of custody as indicative of a systemic disregard for due process. The absence of these documents raised serious questions about the authenticity and reliability of the evidence itself. Had the narcotics been tampered with? Was there an attempt to frame the accused? These unsettling questions lingered in the courtroom unanswered by the prosecution. The court, bound by its duty to uphold the principles of justice and fairness, had no choice but to acknowledge the profound impact of these missing documents on the credibility of the prosecution's case. The judgment underscored the paramount importance of obtaining valid search warrants in narcotics cases. The court reiterated that Section 20 of the Control of Narcotic Substances Act 1997 clearly mandates that searches conducted without a warrant are presumptively illegal. This legal safeguard exists to protect the fundamental right to privacy enshrined in the Constitution of Pakistan. The court, in no uncertain terms, condemned the practice of conducting warrantless searches, recognizing their potential for abuse and violation of citizens' rights. The judgment emphasized that exceptions to this rule, though permissible under specific and limited circumstances, must be justified with compelling reasons and subject to strict judicial scrutiny. By upholding the sanctity of search warrants, the court sent a clear message: law enforcement agencies cannot infringe upon the privacy of citizens with immunity. The judgment serves as a powerful reminder that the ends of justice cannot justify the means. The pursuit of criminals must not come at the expense of fundamental rights. The court's stance on search warrants reinforces the principle that a robust and rights-respecting legal system is essential for a just and equitable society. Beyond the specifics of Jeehand's case, the Supreme Court's judgment shone a harsh light on the systemic flaws plaguing narcotics investigations in Pakistan. The court identified a pattern of procedural violations, lack of proper training, and a disregard for due process that had become deeply entrenched within law enforcement agencies. The judgment highlighted the urgent need for comprehensive reforms within these agencies. The court stressed the importance of investing in training programs that emphasize legal procedures, evidence handling, and the importance of upholding constitutional rights. It called for greater accountability within law enforcement, urging authorities to address the culture of impunity that allowed such misconduct to flourish. The court's expose of these systemic flaws served as a wake-up call for the entire justice system. It forced a long overdue conversation about the methods and practice employed in narcotics investigations. This judgment served as a stark reminder that the pursuit of justice must never come at the expense of due process and the rule of law. Section 6. A blueprint for justice, the court's framework for future cases. The Supreme Court didn't stop at identifying problems, it offered solutions. The judgment laid out a comprehensive framework for conducting narcotics investigations, one that prioritizes transparency, accountability, and the protection of fundamental rights. The court's framework emphasized the importance of meticulous documentation at every stage of the investigation. It called for the use of body cameras by law enforcement officers to ensure transparency during raids and arrests. The judgment also stressed the need for independent forensic analysis of seized substances to eliminate any possibility of tampering or bias. This framework, if implemented effectively, has the potential to revolutionize narcotics investigations in Pakistan. By providing clear guidelines and emphasizing accountability, the court aimed to restore public trust in the justice system and ensure that future cases are handled with the utmost integrity and fairness. Section 7. A victory for the accused. Shifting the balance of power. The judgment sent shockwaves through legal circles, signaling a significant shift in the balance of power between the accused and the state in narcotics cases. For far too long, The scales of justice had been tipped in favor of the prosecution, often at the expense of the rights of the accused. This landmark decision, however, has empowered defense lawyers with a powerful precedent to challenge flawed investigations and procedural violations. The judgment serves as a potent tool to hold law enforcement agencies accountable for their actions, ensuring that they operate within the bounds of the law. The court's emphasis on due process and the rights of the accused levels the playing field, ensuring that the pursuit of justice does not come at the cost of fundamental freedoms. It recognizes the inherent power imbalance between the state and the individual and seeks to rectify this by providing the accused with the legal means to challenge overreach and abuse of power. Section 8. Repercussions for law enforcement. Adapting to a new era of accountability. The judgment has forced law enforcement agencies to confront the shortcomings in their investigative practices. The court's scathing indictment of systemic flaws and procedural violations has left these agencies with no choice but to embark on a path of reform and introspection. The judgment's emphasis on accountability and transparency requires a fundamental shift in the way law enforcement agencies operate. Training programs must be revamped to incorporate the court's guidelines. A culture of impunity must give way to a system where officers are held responsible for violating legal procedures or infringing upon citizens' rights. This process of adaptation will undoubtedly be met with resistance from within the ranks of law enforcement. However, the long-term benefits of embracing these reforms far outweigh the short-term discomfort. By adhering to the principles of due process and respecting the rights of all citizens, law enforcement agencies can regain public trust and ensure the integrity of their investigations. Section 9. The enduring legacy of Jeehand. A stepping stone towards a fairer system. The judgment represents a watershed moment in the ongoing struggle for a more just and equitable legal system in Pakistan. The court's unwavering commitment to upholding the rule of law, even in the face of this systemic challenges, offers a glimmer of hope for a future where the rights of all citizens are safeguarded. This landmark decision is not merely a legal victory for Jeehand. It is a victory for everyone who values fairness, accountability, and the pursuit of justice. The judgment serves as a powerful reminder that the judiciary remains the last bastion of hope against arbitrary actions and the abuse of power. The true legacy lies in its potential to inspire lasting change. By sparking a national conversation about police reforms, due process, and the rights of the accused, this judgment has set in motion a process of introspection and reform that has the potential to reshape the landscape of criminal justice in Pakistan.